I founded K Brown, which is really the first Korean skincare brand that focuses solely on melanin-rich skin. But what we do is not only melanin-safe K-beauty, it's more than that. We really formulate for melanin-rich biology, but at the end of the day, you're human. And when you grow up with so many cultures and so many interactions and when you live between so many countries and so many people from different backgrounds, you realize that we're just all the same, really. But I realized that as a darker skin tone, buying K-beauty could be a little bit complicated. It's not that easy. You always think, is it going to bleach my skin? Is it going to work on my skin? Is it made for me? Because of those beauty standards that are always put forward, pale skin being so praised in K-beauty, it just gives you this myth that it's not for you or it doesn't work, or it just gives you the impression that it's not really made for you.
Welcome back to Be Anomalous, the podcast to the misfits, the trailblazers, the cultural disruptors, and anyone bold enough to carve their own path. I'm Sai Menon. If you ever felt like the systems around you weren't built for you, this episode is going to hit you really hard. Because today's conversation isn't just about building a brand. It's about crossing borders, literally and culturally, to build something the world didn't even realize it needed. Today, I'm sitting down with Melissa Alpha, founder of K Brown, a brand that's redefining Korean beauty for melanin-rich skin. But here's what makes her story so different. She didn't just sit outside the industry and critique it, she went straight to the source. Melissa pitched her vision to the Korean government, sat in a room with decision makers, and earned a rare startup visa to build her company inside Korea. Not as an outsider looking in, but as a founder reshaping the system from within. And that tells you everything about how she moves. This all started when her daughter said, "I'm not pretty because I'm brown." She decided that wasn't going to be her story. This conversation is about curiosity over conformity, representation beyond surface level, and what it really takes to build something that changes how people see themselves. So let's get into it. Hi, Melissa. Welcome to Be Anomalous. So good to have you here. Before we dive into any of the more stories of yours, I would like to know, how would you introduce yourself?
Wow, how do I introduce myself?
Yeah.
So I guess,
This question I ask when, without your work, how do you introduce yourself? Like, it's just
not my work.
yeah. I usually say that without your accomplishments, how would you introduce Melissa?
That's okay. So I'm Melissa. So if I can't talk about my work, then I'm a mom of two, as I said to you earlier. I basically all I do is working. Say, like being an entrepreneur is just very much about working all the time. I'm guessing how I would introduce myself. I'm a very enthusiastic person. I always see the cup half full, and I love to keep going forward. And this is related to my work, but not really. I'm very passionate about bridging cultures. And my dad is from the Caribbean, and my mom is Italian. And I was born in France, but I grew up also. I spent a lot of time in the US growing up, and now I'm moving to Korea. And my kids are half Russian. It's a lot of bridging cultures, learning a lot of languages, and I've always liked that. So I guess that's that's the main thing to describe me. I'm very flexible, and I love cultures everywhere, and learning about people and observing how people live, and really get immersed in new cultures and in new adventures. Yeah.
Did you ever feel like, because you're from like so many different cultures, did you feel like not being able to fit into any, or did you feel like, oh, I have so many that I easily fit into?
Actually, I think I never tried to fit in anything. I think that's what it brought to me, is that most of the time there are misconceptions and people don't understand each other because they just don't speak the same language, or they don't have the same, they think they don't have the same standards. They think they don't have the same, they don't want the same thing. But at the end of the day, you're human. And when you grow up with so many cultures and so many interactions and when you live between so many countries and so many people from different backgrounds, you realize that we're just all the same, really. It's quite easy to fit in. So I never really tried to fit in one culture. It's just easy for me to be everywhere. It's just very easy for me to yeah, fit in, but in a way that I don't really try. I'm just very curious about other people's culture. I'm very curious usually about languages as well. I love to learn languages. I'm super curious, so it's just really out of interest, I would say. But I don't really try to fit in. It just works out
Yeah.
because I'm interested in it.
So tell us about your work stuff, like
Okay,
yeah.
much easier because as I said, always is working. No, so I founded K Brown, which is the really the first Korean skincare that a brand that focuses solely on melanin-rich skin. But what we do is not only melanin safe K beauty; it's more than that. We really formulate for melanin-rich biology. We really studied how melanin-rich skin works and how darker phototypes really. What is the structure? What are the differences? What can we do to formulate more accurately for this skin type? So we really formulated from the ground up for melanin rich skin, which is quite new actually to do even in Western beauty. That's not something that we really do even here. There are some amazing brands that do it, but it's still a small part of the market. But mixing it with K beauty, I think, was the main differentiation with because I'm a big fan of K culture and K beauty actually, but I realized that as a darker skin tone, buying K beauty could be a little bit complicated. It's
Mm.
not that easy. You always think, is it going to blinch my skin? Is it going to work on my skin? Is it made for me? Because of those beauty standards that are always put forward, pale skin being so praised in K beauty, it just gives you this myth that it's not for you or it doesn't work or
Yeah.
it just gives you the impression that it's not really made for you. So that's the first thing, representation, but also some products will bleach your skin and some products won't really work the way it should be. So that was really about adapting and maximizing the effect of the amazing K beauty because K beauty is amazing. So many amazing
Oh,
textures, so many products, so much innovation. That was about maximizing the effect on darker skin tones, I would say. Well, yeah.
that is an interesting concept because that is so true. K beauty is all over the place, but sometimes you try them and then it doesn't work. Like someone for me, like I'm a brown skin. So someone
Mhm.
from like when I try it on and it doesn't seem the same way as it's supposed to be on like the marketing. And so you think that it's your skin problem and it's not the
Exactly.
fact that it's not
It's
uh
it's
it's
just an
all
industry problem.
it's an industry problem. Yes. So how did you get into this?
I think it was a lot of dots that connected at some point. I think it started I first discovered K beauty when I was living in Bangkok. So I used to work in high fashion. I was sent to Bangkok for kind of a short-term mission and I lived there for a few months, yeah, almost a year. And I discovered K beauty there. So it was in 2014. So I actually met my co-founder there as well. So it was the starting point. No one knew about K beauty in France, in the US. So I came from New York. No one knew anything from K beauty was just not a thing, and K culture was not really a thing as well. It was just
Mm.
very, very few people listening to K-pop or stuff like that. So it was really not as popular as it is now. And I tried some. I wanted to try product. I tried some of them bleach my skin, and I was attracted to it. I was
Yeah.
attracted to the marketing. I thought it looked very cool, very scientific. It was cheap, but at the same time, it felt like I wasn't. At that time, K beauty was really only pale skin. Representation was none, no representation, only white and Asian models, and that's it. So it really wasn't a place for darker skin girls for sure. Yeah, so I had a mixed feeling about K beauty. And then years later, because I was a model agent before, so I was always with brands and I was always on sets with models and makeup artists. I've heard about K beauty. Everybody was, oh, you don't know K beauty, you don't use K beauty. K beauty is amazing. So it became a thing. Is it a thing? Yeah, is it amazing? Because I'm not sure. I think it's going to bleach my skin. I'm not sure. And I could hear everybody else as well think like that. Yeah, maybe it's not. Maybe every time there was a dark skinned girl, she was like, maybe, I don't know. Should I use it? Is it made for me? So it was always the same kind of
Yeah.
idea that it was just not made for us. And So that's the first part of the story. And then I have an 8-year-old daughter, and she's a big fan of K-pop. So when she got into K-pop 3 years ago, I would say 3 years and a half ago, I went to so many concerts and K-culture events. We went everywhere. I thought it was a great way to bond with her, and it was super interesting. I really liked it, really like K-culture, K-pop, K-dramas, and I thought it was very cute. But same thing, what I saw was interesting is that so many girls at K-pop concerts, for example, so many brown skin girls, so many
Oh,
Latin American, Afro American, Indians, Afro Caribbean in France, everywhere, you name it. So much diversity, and at the same time, same thing, always those beauty standards praising white skin, pale complexion. So I thought, again, those girls are here and they love K culture, but when it comes to K beauty, no one is waiting for them at the door. No one is waiting to welcome them with open arms. And it showed. It was obvious that there was love for K beauty, for K culture, but it was just not reciprocal.
yeah,
Reciprocal?
yeah,
Yeah, sorry. Sometimes I have trouble. So yeah, again, these dots connected. At some point, I just thought there is something there. There is a gap that no one is seeing, because when I thought of that, no one was really talking about ethnicity or the ethnicity of people using K beauty. No one was talking about what are the groups using K beauty. Are they white? Are they black? It wasn't even a question, and no one was really talking about black and brown consumers and K beauty at the same time, because it felt wrong in a way because of those beauty standards. It didn't feel like it could be something that we could mention and that we could actually acknowledge that a lot of brown and black skin girls love K beauty and K culture. So that was, yeah, so these were the dots really that were just in my head. And then one day I was with my daughter and we were doing K beauty together. And at some point she goes, "Oh, I'm not pretty because I'm brown, mommy."
oh my
And
God.
I said, "But why would you say that? This is horrible. Who told you that?" And my favorite idols, they always bleach their skins. And basically, K culture thinks that brown is not cool. And I'm just, this is not okay. So I told her, I think you don't have, you're young and you don't understand, but sometimes those beauty standards, they come from way back. It's not that Koreans think you have to be white. It's just like that. They were raised like that. And I don't know. I thought there is something there. And why is it so hard for me to buy products? Because always checking. It took me months before actually going and buying my first product in K beauty. I checked influencers. I checked because I
Yeah,
didn't want them to bleach my skin again from
yeah,
from way back, and I was a bit not at ease. So I thought, this is hard for me to buy Korean beauty, and this is hard for her to see herself in Korean beauty, to see representation. That means there is a gap because she's not the only one, and I'm not the only one either. So
yeah,
from there, I just went everywhere. I talked to so many people in K-pop concerts, K-culture events. I looked at all the comment sections and all the content about K-beauty for darker skin tones. It was just there. So many women and men actually interested in the product, but always the same questions. Is it going to bleach my skin? Is it going to work? And is it made for us? Are we rejected, or is it a cultural thing? So many questions about around it. And same thing in K-pop. Are we being represented? That's why there is a group called Cat's Eye that came out a few years ago, maybe 2 years, 3 years ago. And they're a K-pop group made out of Indian. So there is an Indian girl, a black girl, Indonesian girl, very diverse group. And same thing, they were trying to reach out to those girls in K-pop who are diverse. They are from diverse ethnicities, and they needed a K-pop group that would represent them. And this group is working. So right now, it's a lot of problems with because anyway, K-pop dramas. But yeah, it's just we needed a brand that would be
yeah.
just K beauty for us, basically. So that was it, and I decided to go for it. And the first thing that was very important for me was to not to go to Korea, ask for products, and label it. Oh, this is Black owned
Yeah.
and this is for you guys. This is not really what I wanted to do. I really wanted to deep dive on, because what you said about is it my skin, that's the story of, I'm going to tell you, so many women have told me the same thing. We think we are the problem. So I
Yeah.
thought, why do I always think it's not even only K beauty? When we use products, it feels like it doesn't work the way it should work.
Yeah.
Not every time, but a lot of the time.
Yeah.
You tell me this is going to be moisturizing for 72 hours.
Yeah.
Chances are, no, it's not. It's going to be 2 hours on you. So I wanted to find answers. I
Yeah.
wanted to find answers on that first, because I thought this is the pain point. And I deep dived. I called my dermatologist. I called a cosmetologist. I took, my sister lives in the Caribbean, so I talked to her friend who is a dermatologist as well. So I really deep dived, and what I found out is this: just skin is not just skin; it's different. Phenotype,
Yeah.
having more active melanocytes, it just changes a lot of things in your structure, in the way your skin is structured, and also ethnicity, and also so many things have to be taken into account. And that makes sense. If we have less ceramides in our skins and less
Yeah.
water, it makes sense that it's not going to be moisturizing for us the same way it's going to be moisturizing for another skin type that's going to have more lipids or more. So it just made sense. Everything made so much sense when I found out about all of this. So it was really, for me, we need to combine this Korean culture, interest, and beautiful, because I love Korean culture. Like, I'm not trying to change it. I'm just trying to bring something else and something to make
Diversity.
it more inclusive. That's
Yeah.
not about taking, oh, K beauty is bad. It's really about, okay, we have K beauty and it's amazing. They have so
Yeah.
many innovations, so many products, so many, the textures are amazing. And they have a way also of working. They want to evolve all the time. They want to find better products. They want to, it has to go fast, and it has to go, they want to do better. And but I thought we have to do that, and we have to have the best of the skincare innovation for us. That would be nice for
Yeah.
once, at the center of it. And so it was really about bridging everything that I learned from dermatologists, cosmetologists specializing in darker skin tones, to Korean lab innovation, and really find the right partner that's going to be willing to work with us on new formulas and really adapt to this new customers. So it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think the market is ready
Yes.
in Korea?
Not in Korea. Not
Okay.
in Korea. That's not, we launched, so we just launched the pre-orders mainly in the US. US is our first market, because in the US, so after I had been developing K Brown for, I think, a year and a half, and then statistics came out. Turns out 30% of people, of K beauty customers in the US, are either Black, Latin American, or
Oh,
Indian Americans, Arabic Americans. So this is huge. This is a huge
yeah.
market only in the US. But when you know how popular Korean skincare is in India, when you know how popular it is in the Middle East, in Latin America, you see how huge the market can be.
Yeah.
So having the statistics and understanding who the consumers were in the US made it really the first market to go on, and the UK as well. UK is the same thing. The largest part of consumers of K beauty in the UK are also Black. So it really is just, it was just for us, like, the market that was ready was the US, and then UK, Europe. And in France, so in France, we don't have statistics. We don't have ethnic statistics. It's not allowed to collect data on race. So we can't
Oh,
really know what the market is.
oh, in France. Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
That's why France is so late when it comes to Black beauty, and it's
Oh,
really complicated here to find products. But because we don't have the data, so that makes
oh,
sense. No
okay.
one could launch a business without data.
How are you going about the FDA in so many different countries, right? US and UK. The standards are different. The complexity of getting it to those countries are different. So how are you navigating that?
So in terms of compliance, when I first started developing the first formula, I right away I made sure everything was compliant with the EU standards. So I took an RP in EU, and I really made sure it was, because I know how hard it is to be compliant in the EU. So I made sure we had everything done for the EU first, because US is different. You
Yeah.
just register your product; it's not the same. But I knew from the start that I would being French. I've seen, and I've lived in the US. I've lived in the UK as well. I know the market is huge there, and I have a lot of friends living there. I go there all the time in the UK, so I knew there was a market. So I wanted to, because UK and EU have the same, almost the same rules when it comes to regulations. If you're good to go for the EU, you're basically good to go anywhere anyway.
Yeah, that is
Because that's that hard.
yeah, that is
So
true.
so in terms of compliance, that was the strategy, to go really from the beginning with that. And then in terms of marketing, that's a bit different. We really focused on the US, because as a French Black woman, I always noticed that in Europe, Afro American culture is very, that's the influence. That's what we look at. We look up at what they use, what they do. So that's really, for me, that was the idea, was let's go and talk to the US, because they will talk to the rest of the world
That
for
is
us,
okay.
basically. So that was the idea. Even the diaspora, like Latin American living in the US, can have a big influence on Latin American living in Latin America. Same thing for Indian Americans, even if obviously there are differences, but still their influence and what they use and what they do is usually, especially on social media, it's usually
Yeah.
much bigger and very influential. So that was the idea. I think the UK market is a our good not a surprise, because I know the market was there, but we really didn't do anything to target them, but they came to us. So the UK market is, I can't wait for the UK market to launch, because it's a great market. But yeah,
So
yeah.
going back to starting the brand, this is not the first brand that you started. You've
Yeah.
been an entrepreneur even before this. Yeah.
Yes, I had. So I used to be. So I worked in high fashion for a few years, and then my mom. I come from a family of entrepreneurs, so I guess I didn't want to be an entrepreneur at all.
Oh, really?
No, I never wanted that, but I guess I was just,
But it
you
was there
know,
in your gene.
yeah. And when you're pushed, I was never pushed to do something, to work for someone else, or it was never really something that would make my parents proud. It was
Oh,
more, go ahead and build your own. So my sister's an entrepreneur, my brother's an entrepreneur as well. So basically,
oh,
everyone, everybody in the family was pushed to go on that road. So this is not the first one. Yes, I launched a swimwear company. Oh, that was a long time ago. That was before my kids, and I learned everything from
yeah.
like really on. So I came from fashion, so obviously I had a great sense of what looks good, and like marketing and branding was easy. But I had no idea about selling and logistics. I had to learn everything on the spot, really. I had a co-founder, so she was more of a designer person, and then I was taking care of everything else. And it was I learned so much. And actually we did quite well. It just was a surprise that we did well, and we sold in 5 countries, and we had great
So
opportunities.
how did you figure out the sales part of it?
Oh, I don't know, because it was just meeting people and going really, how can you say, grinding, like it was really just going and into stores and talking to the store owners. When I realized, because the thing is, everybody thinks DTC, selling online, is the
Yeah.
easiest, quickest, but it's not easy. When you really need a lot of knowledge to sell DTC, you need a team, you need people who are going to take care, who are going to look at the KPIs, you're going to take care of converting and talking to people, and you need a social media manager. That's not something that's that easy. I
Yeah.
think there is a myth of, oh, I can launch my brand in fashion, in beauty, or whatever. I can launch my brand online and it's going to work like that. It doesn't. It's not like that. You have to build so much noise for a few people to actually listen and come and then buy and converse. Yeah, launching that, I was like, okay, so launching DTC is not a good idea because that's not that easy. And I used to work as a model agent. I was specializing in press. So I got a great press. But still, you still, every time you sell something, it's a victory. But it took so much work. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to go into retail. I'm just going to talk to people. I'm going to find the store owners, and we're going to get those swimwear into stores, and we're going to meet other CEOs. So that it was really about that, learning from others, also learning from store owners. What do people want?
Was this in US?
No, it was in Europe.
Europe, okay.
Yeah, it was in Europe. So it was really about learning from the people who knew, basically.
Yeah.
I think it's always, that's what you have to do. Being an entrepreneur is, you can't do anything. You can't do everything great.
Yeah.
You cannot know everything. So you really have to learn from the people that know better. So it was really about learning a lot. And that's what I did. That's what I did. And when I was just exhausted from it, and also we had differences between co-founders. So I had my kid, so I decided to just stop. But from that, I thought, okay, if I go back if I go back to being an entrepreneur one day, I'm going back to uni and I'm gonna learn, because I was in law school. In my first studies, I studied in law school. But law school is nice, but you don't really learn anything about business. You're just good at reading contracts. I went back to uni. I studied marketing and communication, everything. And also I went into a special program for entrepreneurs, basically. So I started building K Brown inside of this incubator. From the university. So that helped a lot, because we had mentors. So on logistics, on marketing, on you name it, everything that you need, we had people. So I also learned a lot from them as well. So yeah, I just took all of that and tried to use it the best way possible for K Brown.
Do you think that as a child, you never saw yourself as an entrepreneur, but then what keeps you going? What keeps the passion?
I just love it. Now that I am in it, I think I enjoy it much more now that I used to. I think I have the right co-founder first. We really trust each other. We're very complementary. He really has this structure mind that works really well with mine, because I'm more of a creative person, very talkative. He's not. It's a good match, which is super important, because I think your co-founder is one of the biggest decisions that you're going to make. You're going to need one. You're not going to do everything alone, but your co-founders or co-founder I think that's the most important. The team is the most important decision that you're going to make. And it motivates you as well to go on. When you have someone that really relies on you, but also supporting you, you can't just go like that and say, no, I'm done with it. That's not how it works. So that first. And the motivations, I think now that I know what I'm doing, it's much more enjoyable, because the learning phase, when you learn on the spot, is sometimes you just you just suffer a lot, but it humbles you. And once you've been humbled, that's when you start enjoying yourself, because you start to know what you're doing, and you surround yourself with the right people. I think also very important. Surround yourself with the right team.
Oh my gosh, that's something that as I grow older, I'm just like, because I take energy from people, whether it's good or bad. It sucks the energy out of me when I'm around negative people or people. Oh god,
Negativity, or people who are just don't have the same vision that you, and you have to explain yourself over and over. You have to be surrounded. It's good to have people who challenge you. I'm not saying that you have to surround yourself people who just tell you you're beautiful and wonderful, and that's not what I'm saying. But having people with the same work ethic and the same vision that see, because as a founder, it's quite hard sometimes to just show your vision to the world. Share your vision to the world. That's one of the first things you have to learn to do, is you're gonna have to share your vision, because if you don't, no one is going to follow you. And building a startup is also about finding the right people who are going to follow you on that path. And that's not an easy path, and that's not a certain path. That's a lot of insecurity, and it's a lot of, so it's not, it's very important that you're able to share your vision and be very structured in a way to lead them and have them with you as your support system. Yeah, I think it just keeps me motivated because I'm surrounded by the right people, and also it's the right project. I really love, every DM, every comment, every message that I get from people from the industry, from people who are just like our consumers, and from people who just saw the brand once and they think it's cool and they just send us the email. That's incredible because I did that for my daughter, and now I'm doing that for other people's daughter. Beautiful. I think it's just great. People learn about their skin, they learn about what they need, they learn that they're not the problem, but it's just that the industry was not really built for them in mind. And it's so important for me. The mission is so important, so I just love it.
What have been the lessons that you've learned from your previous startup, that the do's and don'ts from your previous startup that you don't want to implement for K Brown?
Yeah, strategize. I think having a strategy, we really went into it like, oh, we're two cool girls, we work in fashion, that's going to be easy. It's not easy. So you have to strategize, because we're the proof that even if you get great opportunities, because we got really great opportunities and we talked to very important people that we wouldn't have reached, and that was just crazy. But at the same time, when you're not ready, when you're not structured, a company will always be a company. And I think people in fashion or in skincare, because it's so creative and it looks so cool and girly, you think this is all there is, but it's not. It's a lot of structure, it's a lot of strategy. It's, you have to think your every move, because if it costs you a lot of money, then you're always losing some money somewhere. You can't do that. So if you want to go the long run, you really have to be structured and don't be fooled by all the great campaigns and all the beautiful models. That's not what it is. It's business at the end of the day. And you really have, as an entrepreneur, really have, if you want your mission to continue, if you want to be able to do good and give back to community with your company, first it has to make money. And it has to work, and it has to get the power as well. And if you want your voice to get bigger, you have to be heard. So you have to strategize. So I think that's the thing I've learned. And also the co-founder thing, the team, surrounding yourself with the right people. I will not say that enough. I think surround yourself with the right people. That's so important. But we learned that, as you said, we learned that growing older, we learned the hard way that we don't want to be surrounded with the wrong people. That's very important, especially for entrepreneurs, I think.
Building a team, I think that's something that has been like a learning experience for me too. What are some of the qualities that you want, and how do you build your team, and what are the ways that you employ someone in your company?
So what I said about the vision, I think I'm a very, how can I say, like, hardy person. I'm like you, I feel the energy right away. I'm not someone that thinks with her brain. I think with my heart, and I will not choose someone on a resume. Okay, you can have something interesting. Obviously, I can see a resume and think, oh, okay, she has experience in beauty, but that's not because you've been in L'Oreal, Sephora, and whatever that I'm going to hire you. It's not. It's really, I have to feel that you see the vision that I'm sharing with you, because it is going to be so important. When you work, you have to be motivated by the mission. You have to see the vision. You have to be involved in a way. And for example, the first person that actually started working with me was not my co-founder, was the other one. My left arm. She is our brand. Now she's the CBO, so she's our brand identity officer. And she was incredible, because when I started, so I had the concept, I was developing the product, I had a very clear idea of what I wanted to do with K Brown, but for some reason, branding, which was always my strong suit, I couldn't do it. I couldn't find the way to mix those two words together, those two worlds, really to have because I wanted the brand to be K-beauty, not just something made in Korea. K-Brown is K-beauty. I went to Korea. I pitched to the Korean government. I got my visa from the Korea. I got sponsored by the Korean government to live in Korea, which is incredible because it's 10 people in the world that have the visa. So they really supported us. And I immersed myself in Korean culture. It was really important. All our investors are Korean. So it was very important for me for K-Brown to be anchored in Korea because I wanted it to be a K-beauty brand. Not because, okay, I'm not Korean, but it has to have this Korean K-beauty brand. It was very important for me. And then at the same time, obviously anchored also in what I call Black culture. It's culturally relevant to all of us, even if you're not really Black, brown, there is a common ground somewhere. And I had to find this common ground between all of us, melanin-rich skin and our love for K-beauty, and just blend it. But for some reason, it was so hard to do in the right way. And she came in and she understood right away. And she really built this amazing brand identity that we have now.
It's
did an
beautiful.
amazing job. Like really just she did everything. She designed the website, she designed the logo, she did everything. The packaging, everything is her. She is a genius. I love her so much. But see, she was starting out in the industry, but I just felt that she had the vision. And then after that, I really always want to have people who understand, first of all, usually who are in the target consumers, who are target consumers. They love K-beauty, or some of them love K-beauty very much, or cosmetics very much, and have Black skin. And some of them are very into K-culture and K-pop, and so they love K-beauty. But I really want them to be in the target consumer, to be one of the target consumers, because they get it. They get it. And in everything they do, you can feel it. You can feel that they understand the consumer that they're talking to, and that's super important. Yeah, that's the marketing side.
No, that's awesome, because target consumer is something, or target audience is something that people often get confused by, and then they start off with a certain target or like a certain demographic, and then they change after selling, because it's something that you have to talk to your customers to understand who you're really selling it to, and you have to be really niche about it.
Exactly. And also, I think a lot of mistakes were made because when the team doesn't look or doesn't feel like the consumer, especially when it comes to darker skin tones, there were so many mistakes that were made. And I think if we want to keep, because honesty is very important for me. I'm a very honest person and I want everything to be transparent. And it's very important for me that I have people on my side who have the same feeling, because I feel like as darker skin tones, we have felt so many times, how do you say that? Utilized? No, how do you say that? Used. We've been, when you see representation, but at the same time, testing is not done on darker skin tones. You're like, okay, you put a Black girl on the wall and then you tell me this is for me, but it's not. It's just, we just felt used in a way. And I really wanted to avoid that at all costs. Transparency, and having people in the team who felt in their heart what we said. Is it me? Is it my skin? Am I the problem? That changes everything, because at every level, when we take a decision, someone felt the pain point, so they know who they're talking to and how they want to address the problem. Very important.
Talk to me a little bit about the fact that you went to Korea and got the visa. That's incredible. Like,
it's insane.
I didn't even know that was something that you had to do.
It's so easy to just go to Korea and build another brand, and was everything but everybody do, but it does. But I really wanted something else. I wanted to be a foreign founder-led K-beauty brand. So for that, I had to go to Korea, and I had to be and immerse myself. As I told you, I'm very curious about everybody's culture, and so I thought I need to live in Korea. This is the only way. I need to be there. I need to live there. I need to learn the language. I haven't learned yet. Give me a little bit more time, because that's a challenging one. But so I needed the visa to do that. And last year, the Korean government, they released a new kind of visa for high potential businesses. So basically, you go and you pitch to the Korean government. They have that's what you call MSS. So it's the Ministry of Startup. And yeah, you have to send your business plan and you have to pitch to them. So yeah, I was in front of 10 representatives from the MSS, and it was just very intimidating. But they were very excited about the project, and they gave me the visa. And I think at the time we were like 2 people, 3 people maximum. Now it's maybe 10. It's really, really rare to be able to get that visa. But that's what I liked also. They had the same reaction than our investors or than our labs. They they told me, we know there is a demographic, we know the consumers are there, but we don't really know how to authentically cater to them authentically, and we don't really know what the pain point is at the same time. When you haven't felt it's quite hard to actually understand it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like how men are the ones designing tampons. It doesn't work.
Exactly. And you're like, no one likes that. Exactly. That's exactly it. Exactly. So that's really, they needed someone in the room to say, I think we should do it that way. And they said, okay, you want to do it? Let's go. We'll give you the tools. So they gave us an office in Gangnam as well. That's just beautiful. They've been very supportive. And it was the same thing with the lab. When I found the right lab, they were really, okay, let's do it. Let's try to innovate. Let's try to cater to them the right way. And let's deep dive on the information that you gave us. And they really deep dive on what we need and how to formulate and how is it going to work. So they were super receptive to it. And our investors, same. They knew there was a market, but also they knew there were consumers that were not completely satisfied, and they want to cater to them authentically. And they thought, okay, through her we can do that. If we support her, then they will probably trust her more because she felt the pain point than us. But at the same time, if we support her, that's great. So that was just a win-win. And yeah, so K-Brown is really much anchored in K-beauty in Korea, and I think it was super, super important. That was very important for me.
To be able to have the backing of the government in Korea.
Yeah.
That's
The startup ecosystem is amazing. People are the nicest people in the world. I just love this country. I just love the country. I love the culture. It's so rich and it's so interesting. And when you love beauty, it's an amazing country to learn. It's so much innovation, so many products going out in the market every day. It's just crazy. And I think also the Korean customers are educated when it comes to beauty, and they're very interesting also to listen to, because and to see what they like and how they choose. They're very educated, so that's super interesting as well. It's just being at the heart of innovation and skincare. It's basically like a whole country of skincare addicts. It's beautiful.
How long did you stay there?
I've been so I have my 2 years residency card, and I had it for 6 months. And all I did was travel back and forth, because with the kids, it was not that easy to move everyone. But in April, I'm moving everybody. That's it. It's done. So we're going there like permanently with the kids. So that's going to be amazing.
Oh, wow.
The big move in 1 month.
Oh, my. So you are planning to keep your base in Korea and then be able to.
Yes, so if you know me, I travel a lot. Like people who know me, they're always I never know in which country I am. I think it's also a big part of being an entrepreneur. If you have the budget, or if you can do it, it's better to meet people and to see people. And it's nice to meet but it's never going to be the same. You have to go and meet people. So we travel a lot with my co-founder. So we really didn't find the right time to actually make the move and go and stay there for a longer time. But I said, I don't care. I'm taking my kids and I'm going because that's where I need to be. That's where I need to be. And also spending a lot of time in the US, because that's where our consumers are. Being French and having spent a lot of time in the UK as well, I understand already. So it was, and also I grew up between Paris and New York. So I know New York quite well, but I think it's super important to be close to your market, to understand, because I spent a lot of time growing up, but at the same time, you have to be there now and understand how the Gen Z work, where they go to shop. And sometimes it's just about observing, just spending a whole day looking at people going in Sephora, Ulta's, and then just looking what they want and what they buy to understand what their
Do
the
you do
way.
that?
Oh yeah, I
Do
love that. I'm not a stalker, but I love doing that. Yeah, especially when we think about a market or a retailer, or it's super. Actually, I did that also for when I was building K Brown. I went to K beauty shops or in K culture events, a lot of K beauty booths, and I used to look at how people, how black people or Latin Americans or like Indian Americans, what booth they chose. And it was interesting because at one event I went to in Paris, there was a booth, a K beauty booth, with a picture of four different women, one of them being black, and so many other booths, and no black representation at all. Every time a girl with darker skin tones came in, she straight went to that booth because she felt represented, and I did the same thing. I was just, you're just attracted because you feel represented. So
Yeah,
so that's when I thought, yeah, there is something there. There is a gap for sure. But yeah, I love to look at how the consumers and what they buy and what they love to buy. It's super interesting. You're At the end of the day, it's just life doesn't happen on the internet. It happens
yeah.
in life, and you have to talk to real people, and it's super interesting to see how they actually behave, because between what you see online and then what they actually do or what they actually buy,
So many channels. Yeah.
so many difference.
Based off of this, when you observe this, what did you learn about where your consumers are shopping?
I learned that a lot of K beauty stores everywhere are full of darker skin tones consumers. That's the first thing, because when I learned that mostly people go to K beauty shops, like K beauty specialists, to discover new products. I don't
Mm,
really think you go into a K beauty shop thinking, usually you so what happened usually was they want to buy that trendy serum that they've seen on TikTok. So
yeah.
that's the first thing. They come in, but they always ask for help because it's so hard to navigate K beauty. So this looks okay, but we're not as educated as the Koreans are. Koreans, they don't ask anything. They just go in there, they know, they understand. They're so educated, but not everybody. Why is he? He wants to eat me. Yeah, so it was really about finding that trendy ingredient or trendy serum or trendy whatever product, you name it, into those K beauty shops. And I thought it was very interesting because everybody thinks Sephora, Ulta, and everything. I
Mhm.
think for K beauty, it's a bit different. I think for K beauty, we go in those K beauty specialists and we ask for help and we want to know more and what are the brands. You don't really go into K beauty for branding until now. You don't really go for branding or for brand identity or storytelling. You really go for one product or one ingredient, and you want to learn, oh, how is it going to work on my skin. So it's a lot of the, I think, scientific side, like learning, or what is this ingredient, clinical, is it working on my skin. So yeah, that's what I learned. A lot of people go more to buy K beauty. It's more on K beauty shops, specialists and small stores everywhere,
Yeah,
than going into Sephora, for example.
yeah.
That's my Now Sephora is partnered with Olive Young, so that's
All
going to
right.
change a lot. But I think also that's why they did it, and it's brilliant because we
Yeah,
know Olive Young is the temple of K beauty, and we would trust going there and really finding the right brands.
yeah,
Whereas until now, that's not where you went to find K beauty, and I
yeah,
think they understood that, so it's very clever on their side for sure.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. There was a lot of speculation, and that was a very smart move by them.
Yeah, smart move, very smart move for everyone.
Talk to me a little bit about how did you decide to fundraise?
How did I decide what? Sorry.
To fundraise, because you mentioned you have
Yeah.
investors. Money is such a huge aspect, especially for
Yeah.
beauty, because anything CPG, there's so much investment that is required in the
Mm-hmm.
beginning. So, how did
Mm-hmm.
you decide the money aspect
To
of it? How much
fundraise.
fundraise?
Yeah, so fundraising, it was just building a brand, you need money. You need
Yeah.
so much money. And beauty is a very saturated market with a lot of competitors. You just need money. It's a lot of work in terms of marketing. It's a lot. You have to make your voice heard. And in such a saturated market, you need money to do that. It's just actually the thing is, I think also we have big ambitions for K Brown. I think being the first on this market was very important for us to build awareness. We were very lucky. I did so many interviews, so much press. We had so many incredible articles in the press, and that was all organic. We never paid for any of this. It was just because people are, it's just new. It's something new,
Yeah.
and that's not something that happens that often in beauty, that you have a
Yeah.
new positioning and angle. So obviously it gets people excited. So that's the first thing. But when you have to go and get your customers and make them buy, then that's another story. It's not only getting articles, doing podcasts. It's really about talking to them the right way. So you need the right pictures. I refused, for example, I had huge fights with my co-founder because he's the CFO, so he's always looking, okay, money is important, we're not going to spend that much. And I was like, no, but I don't want to use AI. I will not use AI, for example, for pictures. This is beauty. We're selling beauty products. We need real people. And so he's like, AI is easy. I'm like, no, it's not. So we're going to have a shooting, and I know it's going to cost a lot of money, but I want real people. I want real result. I want people using the That's it. That's the way it is. And yeah, sometimes we had to fight on, no, you're spending too much time. But I think you need that. You need that to build a real identity and to build real, the basics of
Yeah.
the
The
base,
foundation.
yeah, the foundation of a very strong brand. You need to spend money at first, but it's also going to be, it's not only on marketing, on getting heard, it's also on branding and getting the right people to work with you and building a great website with super cool. The website was, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of design, so yeah, having the right pictures and having in doing videos, and that's a
Yeah.
lot of money, just that. So we
So
decided.
how did you decide the amount?
Oh, he decided. He's the one. He calculated what we needed for 18 months, and then he would just, yeah. So we have an amazing fundraising. He's slash investor, so he's Korean, German Korean, Manuel, and he invested early in our company, and he really believed in us, and he really helped us as well building a fundraising strategy. And why are you going to raise that much? Really pushing Hugo to go above his limits sometimes,
Mhm.
but really to know, again, that's what I said about strategy. Really know how much this is going to cost. This is going to budgeting and being very strategic about every decision we made. So it was a lot of talking between them two. I was there, but I didn't understand it all, but I was there. I promise. No, it was just really about budgeting, and we know we're going to spend that much, so we need that much. And it just made sense. In fashion, I've seen so many brands trying to start without money. It
Yeah.
usually doesn't.
Doesn't-
It doesn't work, because even if you have a great product, even if people buy it, you're never going to sell for $1 million in the first month. You know what I mean? It's not working that way. You're going to have to earn every customer. As much noise as you're going to make, as much hype you're going to build, it's still going to be, it's not an easy journey to sell to people, and it's really important to have the backup to be able to take that time to build a real relationship with your customers, with your
Yeah.
community, build your community, and take the time to do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need a little bit of time, and that time costs you money, so you need it to be here, to be ready, and to have it in there in order to take that time and build solid foundation. Yeah. But
Yeah.
it was long. Fundraising was just
Yeah,
fundraising.
fundraising is a huge, I feel like fundraising itself is like a full-time job
Oh,
along with your full-time job. Yeah,
along
fundraising.
with your mom full time job.
Oh my
No,
God, along with
no,
your mom.
I was just exhausted. Like when we saw, you never really see the end of it anyway. You always need to fundraise. You know, it's always like when we finished, it was like, oh, okay, so in 6 months, no,
Yeah.
or in 9 months, or I'm gonna have to prepare to the other one. No, not okay. But I guess the other ones get easier because you already have your investors. So the first ones, the first ones are really the ones that you have to. But we met with so many incredible people. But we were very lucky, to be honest. It was not, considering the context worldwide, it's not that easy to fundraise these days, especially for like women of color. And it's really not an easy journey for anyone these days to fundraise. So we were very lucky and very well also advised, I think. Advised, yeah.
Did you go with the VC route or did you go angels first?
No, so we met with a lot of VCs, but just to prepare the next round, basically.
Okay.
But angels, actually, we met, angels, most of this,
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Melissa, this is such a great conversation. I can talk to you about this. This topic is never ending. I feel.
Oh yeah, it is. Being an entrepreneur and a woman.
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah.
It's like another topic that we could talk.
Oh God. Yeah. I like when you said you have 2 kids. I'm like, I have 1, and I don't know how I'm doing it. When people say that they have more than 1, and you're doing so much and traveling.
I don't. I have an amazing mom who is there like full time, who basically stopped everything to support the journey. So that family is one thing that will help you.
Someone to rely on.
Yeah. My mom is my rock. She's always there. She was always there to help. So that's the first thing. I would never be able to do that all on my own. Second, amazing co-founder that can take on a lot of work as well to help. But it's a marathon. And I don't sleep. That's how I know our products are good, because my skin stays good even if I don't sleep and I have way too much screen time.
Your skin is glowing. It's beautiful.
There you go. That's the product. That's the only thing that's saving me, because trust me, these days I think I sleep like at 2 a.m. in the morning and I wake up at 5, because we work on, when I'm not in Korea, then I have to work with the Koreans when I wake up at 5, it's the afternoon for them. But then I have the Americans coming late at night, and like people in LA, I work with them until like midnight or 2. So it's just like it never ends. At some point, I'm just like, I'm going to sleep. I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, you have to see the
I don't want to know. But I think that's the price to pay. You don't build. That's another thing for entrepreneurs. Be ready to. This is a choice that you really have to make. That it's going to be your life. You have the right not to want that. You have the right not to want to just forget about everything else. So I try to be I'm very close to my kids, and I'm trying to be as involved as I can, as much as possible. But you'll have days sometimes when you just can't do it all. You can have everything, but not at the same time. That's really what it is. It's really just, you have to be ready for those sacrifices. And I don't think it's really something that you have to think about when you start being an entrepreneur. Some days are harder than others, and you're still going to have to show up. And that's something you have to think about before. You have to love working for sure.
You have to, On that note, we always end with a favorite quote and a favorite book. That changed your life.
Okay. Does it have to be work related, or is it
anything?
Okay. So my favorite book is Pachinko. I don't know if you know it. Wait, what's the name of the author? It's an amazing book. You have to. So it's the history of a woman. It's actually in Korea during the war with Japan, and it's basically following her and what happens to her and then her the generation coming after and everything. So it's a big portrait of, in the background you have the Korean War and Japan and the relationship between the two societies and, how people lived. And at the same time, you have this incredible story about this woman who is incredibly resilient and strong, and the epitome of women who basically held everything on their shoulders and really built empires for their next generation. It's a beautiful book, and I advise it to everyone. You should read it. It's really not. It's not boring. It's just very well written, and I love to read. Like, I read a lot, and I just love this.
Definitely checking this out. Yeah,
it was turned into a series as well on Apple TV. Yeah, so they made, but I don't advise to watch the series first. I would really read the book, because the book is, I think, it's much more intense and much more detailed and much more, they get into characters much more profoundly, and then you can watch the series. Then you leave the fun for later. And favorite quote. Oh, but I think I said it. You can have everything, but not at the same time. I don't know who said that. Maybe it's Michelle Obama or something. But it's just.
I think it was Oprah. Yeah.
Oh, was it Oprah? Then I'm not. But I love the quote. No, I really love the quote. I think that's so true. That's so true.
Yeah.
When you do it, you just can't do it every. You have to just manage to have everything, but choose the days. Some days family, some day trying not to
so
too
true.
much time. Yeah, not trying not to leave too much time focusing on one thing though. Like when I focus on work for a week, then I think, okay, I'm gonna take one day off for my kids. I don't care. This is my kids' day. Because if I go for 5 months working and not seeing and not being there for them, that's 5 years for them. So it's just trying to be very structured about that and very disciplined.
It's hard.
Yeah, it is. You know what it is. Sometimes you're just, they talk to you and you're like, oh my God, I haven't sent this email. Oh my God, I have to do that. Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Like keeping up with, it's just, and the kids stuff, and you're doing it while traveling. I cannot.
Yeah, no, traveling it got very intense because of fundraising as well. Because we met so many people everywhere. So yeah, it was a lot. But at the same time, I think the easier part of traveling is that when I'm traveling, I'm fully on work. I know they're with the grandma, I called them, everything's fine, and I can focus on work. So when I come home, I can spend days with them without, I've worked so much in the past week or when I was away, then I can rest a little bit when I come home. You have to take the positive sides of everything.
No, that's actually good. You're 100% present in the situation that you're in, and that's the only way you can.
Yeah, and even for them, if I never traveled too long, so that's why I'm always jet lagged because I try to really go for a week maximum. 10 days was the biggest, I think, the longest I've gone. But yeah, I always try. Even for them, it's better actually that I'm not there, but I call and everything's fine. But being there and being on your computer all day is not.
Yes, that like you're there but not there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's not even nice. So it's you have to balance it out. But yeah, you can have everything but not at the same time. It's my favorite quote.
A beautiful quote. Yes. And it's I feel like it's a reminder for us too every now and then.
Yeah, and we're moms, so we feel guilty every time. The guilt. Trying to be superheroes, but we have to cut ourselves some slack, and we're fine. I think we're doing great. We're just trying to show. Do you have a daughter or a son? Yeah, okay. But because I see the results of what I'm doing on my daughter. Actually, even on my son, he's probably gonna love women. If he loves women, he's gonna love strong women, and he's not gonna be afraid of it. That's great. And
my son is very curious about every time I do. Like, why are you putting that there? Why? Like he's watching it, so
he loves it. Yeah, exactly. You can. My son. I'm like, do you want to do some skincare with me? Yeah. It's just you have to hydrate your skin, and it's just so cute. And I teach them both, and they understand. Well, yeah, he's going to be with a sister and a mother and a grandma. He's going to be like a super. The best men were raised by women for sure.
Oh God!
But yeah, I can see my daughter. She's always, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a business, me too, and I'm gonna do like this and that. And when she said, I'm not pretty because I'm brown. After 2 years working, I've been working on camera for 2 years and a half, almost 3 years. And now I'm so pretty because I'm brown. And that's my favorite quote. That makes my heart melt every time. I'm like, oh, yeah, exactly. That's exactly why I feel that.
That's exactly. You know that what you're doing is worth it. Like when you hear it from.
Exactly. I really don't care about anything else. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's great. But this is gold. This is gold. Because I know she's not the only one who's feeling like that.
Yeah.
We get so many DMs and all the little girls, real little girls, and little girls inside of us, millennials. We just love to be represented and put in the center for once. So that's beautiful. That's a great mission. I'm so happy.
Oh, yes. I'm so happy for you. More power to you.
That was Melissa. If there's one thing this conversation reminded me, it's that not fitting in isn't a weakness. it's a perspective. Melissa didn't try to force herself or her daughter into an existing system. She questioned it, she studied it, and then she built something better. Because sometimes the problem isn't your skin, your background, or your identity. Sometimes the system wasn't designed with you in mind. And the real work is having the courage to change that. Her story is a reminder that you can build across cultures, you can create what doesn't exist, and you don't need permission to redefine an entire industry. But also, you can have everything, but at different times. So the question is, what are you choosing right now? And what are you willing to build for the version of you and the people after you who need it? If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who is in the middle of building something that doesn't exist. And please like, share, subscribe, and I will keep bringing you more amazing stories of trailblazers. Until next time, be bold, be real, and be anomalous.